Well, good afternoon and welcome to Double K Home Projects. Today we are going to do a little bit of tilling on down a fence line where I'm going to plant some kale. We are trying to beat the rain again today, and it just seems like that we are always trying to beat the weather. But we're going to try to get this done today before it rains here in an hour and a half or so. I've tilled some up here with the shovel all along the fence line here. All along down through here. I've tilled it up by hand with the shovel, just so I don't get my tiller into the fence. Anyway, we're going to make a garden area out of this. It used to be a garden area, that's why it's no grass growing. It used to be a yard, and then I had a garden in here. And it's been a couple years since I've had it over here. So anyway, we are going to till this up and make some paths and do some square foot gardening in here. It's not a super huge garden, but it'll produce quite a bit, I expect. So I used to have raised beds in here. I'm not putting raised beds in, I'm just going to plant it in the ground. But it'll work. All right, let's give this a try. I think there's quite a bit of rocks in here, but we'll just pull her backwards here and see where we can get it to. See where we can get to. Gotta stay out of that fence, that's for sure. I'm getting a little close to the fence. I don't want to grab a piece of wire in there and break my fence all up. Probably ought to be going the other way with it. I'm walking right where I've tilled up. But I'll probably go back the other way and fluff it back up. I'm trying to get this patch done down through here. So I'm going to plant some kale along this fence. It's kind of a giant kale. This little thing will work you out. Got me a wire down in there. Yeah. So what we got here is this is gardening in town. I live on a little bitty plot in town, and it's just basically my backyard. So I've taken my backyard and turned it into garden, and I've tried to landscape within that realm there, where I plant, you know, edible plants along with flowers and stuff. It really looks good in the summertime. I know it looks terrible right now, but we get it all tilled up and plants put in, and pretty soon it starts looking pretty good around here. So I'll be making some small squares in here where I can reach to weed, and I'll have paths with weed fabric and mulch down in between, so that I can get down between the aisles, and then we'll be able to pull the weeds easily, well, as easy as possible. So, but that's what I do back here in this backyard, and it's worked every year that I've done it. And I know it's not a pristine mowed lawn, but those also don't produce anything for you, so except pretty. So I'm going to do another garden this year in my backyard. I also incorporated around my front yard too, with marigolds, and I plant, you know, sage and things like that, some herbs and things in our flower gardens out front. So I try to make it look pretty and incorporate edible type plants with it, with the flowers. So, but you can grow vegetables in town. Oh boy, tell you. Some big old rock in there. I don't want to go back down through here and just pull it backwards and just fluff this back up where I stepped on it, and then I'll rake this all in with a garden rake and pile it up here kind of a little bit higher right here, because I'm going to plant some kale in here, and all along this fence down through here. Okay, so unplug that, put my wheels down so I can get out of here. So it's going to come back down through here, rake this in and pile it up a little bit against this fence right here, and plant me some kale. I don't know if I can get that done today or not. It'd be nice before it rains. Actually, it doesn't even look like it's going to rain now, but so we'll see how far we get. We're going to rake all this loose dirt in with a garden rake and pile it up here. Got a lot of grass in here too. Probably have to pick that out. Some big old rocks in there. Or not to rake grass back up in there. Like I said, I'll probably have to end up weeding it out some. Yeah. We're supposed to have a little bit of rain today. So far, we've been fortunate not to. We've got plenty had plenty of rain lately. The ground is plenty saturated, so we really don't need the rain. It's probably trying to blow something in. That wind's a whipping. Now this is just not really temporary, but this ditch I've got right here is not going to remain. I'll be tilling the rest of this up and leveling it over. I'm just trying to get a ridge built here to put my kale in. Now this stuff will settle, this dirt will. You build it up like this loose and it will end up settling on you. May not be perfect, but I think it's not looking too bad. This stuff here grows everywhere around here. Boy, I don't know, crabgrass maybe? I don't know. Okay. Okay, well, I've got my ditch dug here, or I got my garden tilled up for the kale. And it's not really a ditch. It is a ditch, but we're going to fill that in eventually. Like I said, we're going to make some squares in here for square foot gardening. But this line right here is for kale. So we're going to plant some kale all through here. And then, like I said, we're going to till some of this up right in here. We're going to make some squares. I'm going to put a big old pathway down through here, just right down through the middle of it. And I'm going to have little square foot gardens, like maybe 4 by 4 squares, 3 by 4, whatever, down through here. And we'll get it all tilled up too. But I wanted to get this done so I could go ahead and get my kale planted. I'm getting ready to go ahead and plant my kale. And the package says 1/4 inch deep. Got to plant 1/4 inch deep and 18 inches spacing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to plant it every 9 inches. And then if 1 or 2 doesn't come up, I can at least, transplant them into the right spaces. So that way I can get plenty of plants. Okay, we're going to go every 9 inches here. I'm going to start about right here. Okay, so I can get, there's 1 at 9 inches, 2, and we got 18 inches, 3, 27 inches, 4, and 36 inches, 5. So you're supposed to go about 1/4 inch deep, and so we will try it like that. These are about like the radish seeds. You might get more in there than you think you got. Okay. Try to keep her straight down through here. 1 there. 9, 18, 27, and 36. I'm getting a little bit far away from my fence. Don't want to do that. Okay. Let's see. I gotta pinch those in here in a second. But I'm gonna bring you up here and show you what we've got here. Okay. This is ThousandHead Kale from Baker Creek Seeds. I do believe they're out of Mansfield, Missouri. It's Baker Creek Heirloom Seed Company. And there it is. The website is rareseeds.com. They have a ton of seeds, different types of seeds, and I've had pretty good luck with their seeds. So they don't sponsor me, but I have used their seeds and they certainly do. They do well. Big old gust of wind just hit us. So I'm gonna get these seeds pinched in here real fast before the rain hits us. Okay, let's just go down the line here. You know, we've got to pinch the seeds in. And just kind of cover them up a little bit. I may have done this just in time. Get some of that grass out of there. Okay, there we go. Got the kale planted, finally. I think it's a little late, but better late than never. So, kale is frost hardy and it can be planted in my zone up here in Indiana. I'm not sure exactly when it can be you can start planting it, but they are frost hardy, so they will grow, and they're kind of a cold weather plant, so you can start harvesting. I don't know, it said like, I'd have to read the seed packet. Sprouts in 6 to 9 days. Ideal temp is 45 to 85 degrees. So that is just about where we're at. We're not at 85, that's for sure, but 45, we're in that realm right now. April. So anyway, we've got a bunch of them planted, and like I said, we will take those once they come up. I can transplant the ones that was in the middle at 9 inches. I can transplant those someplace else, and that way it'll give 18-inch spacing and give it room to grow, because these things need some room because they get really huge. So you can grow in town too, in your little town, in your backyard. You can even grow in pots if you want to. So, I mean, don't let that stop you, you know, living in town. All right, well, the wind's hitting us, so I will let you go for now.